What's happening, guys? Welcome to Tattoo Table Talk, episode 8. Today I had my friend Hunter Homistek on. He is the general manager of 247 Fighting League, also general manager of Sunny Days Arena. We got to talk a lot about the local fight scene, UFC, MMA, and just got to chop it up, have a good conversation. We also did a really sick tattoo for him of Iceberg from the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie Sudden Death, which was really funny. So anyways, check this one out. I'm excited to show it to you guys. See ya. What's happening, guys? Welcome to Tattoo Table Talk. Again, I'm here with my friend Hunter. We're doing a really cool tattoo today. It's a little nod to Pittsburgh culture. I'm pretty excited to show you guys. What is this from? Sudden Death?
Sudden Death, brother.
Sudden Death. Let's go. All right, man. Heck yeah. So we're going to get into this and talk a little bit about Hunter, his career, life, and all the good stuff. And all right, let's do a little icebreaker, bro. So
Love it.
Tell me about your first tattoo experience.
It's a fun one, man. I grew up in a family that was always encouraging me to explore things that I like. So definitely very artsy. Like, I know off camera we talk about music a lot. So music was a huge part of my life growing up.
Yeah.
So it was a very tattoo friendly family. So actually for my 16th birthday, I didn't get a car. I got a tattoo.
I
got my
dude.
first tattoo.
They were like cool with that.
Yeah,
That's
100,
dope.
100%.
That's so cool.
They encouraged it. You know what I mean? They were like, oh, this is awesome. This is definitely what we should do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I got. I got a skull and a caduceus, the medical symbol. It's like a staff with serpents wrapped around it.
Yeah, why'd you get the caduceus?
I was going to be a brain surgeon, I thought.
That was your goal.
Honestly,
At 16, you were like, fuck it, bro. I'm going to be a brain surgeon.
I was the cocky kid with good grades and a full ride and all that stuff.
Yeah, dude.
And I was like, might as well do the dopest job in the world, which is
dude.
Obviously brain surgery.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
So what was it like? Did you get it in like your small town, or did you travel for it, or what?
Went to Chambersburg, the big metropolis of Chambersburg.
Metropolis of Chambers.
Yeah.
What is the population of Chambersburg, Pennsylvania,
I have
bro?
no idea. I have no idea at all. But Eric Von Dar was the tattoo artist that did it.
Nice.
He had a shop like right on the main drag in Chambersburg, and everyone knew his shop because it was like the building itself was a mural. Like he painted it himself. So it was a really sick building.
Yeah, that's
He
it.
was just like the guy that most people from our town went to. So that's just who I went to as well. Yeah.
He was the man.
He was the guy. Shout out Eric Von Dar. No idea what he's doing now, but
it was so it wasn't like a crazy, wild, bad first experience.
Not
I feel
at
like
all.
that's usually people's
it was so
story.
good. Like obviously I had it in my head, you know, it's gonna
Yes.
it's gonna hurt like crazy.
Right,
Can
right.
I even take this? And then like when he started, I was like, oh shit, that's it.
That's it.
You know what I mean? And they hurt. It sucks.
Of course,
but
yeah.
like you expect that.
And it also depends too, like, bro, I bet this tattoo is gonna feel like fucking cat scratches.
Yeah, this
Compared
is,
to like the
this
boulder
is
stuff
not
you
bad
have.
at all.
No,
So far,
bro.
I'm like, oh my god.
Trust me, it's really
This is
not gonna
great.
be bad at
Yeah.
all. Cool, man. So basically you hinted on it a little bit, but where did you grow up?
McConnellsburg, Pennsylvania. So it's Fulton County, PA. The easiest way to describe it for people, especially out here in Pittsburgh, is I'm about 20 minutes from Breezewood on the Turnpike. So
Okay.
if you've ever traveled the Turnpike, pretty much everyone knows the Breezewood exit. That's
Towards Philly or
yeah.
coming from Philly to Pittsburgh, 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah. So the Breezewood exit is like 2 hours from where we are right now, towards Harrisburg.
Towards
The
Harrisburg, okay,
Turnpike,
right, yeah. Yep.
And then the Turnpike exchange there, you're probably like 20 minutes from Bedford from Breezewood as well.
Yes.
So close to Bedford, Breezewood, Hancock, Maryland, like that general
out there,
area.
brother.
Yeah. Nobody really knows McConnellsburg, but everybody knows one of those three.
Yep. Cool, man. So growing up, like, were you into sports? Like, were you into like what were your interests?
Yeah, man, I was into everything, to be honest with you. Like I said, music was obviously super important. I was in a band from the time I was like 14, and
No
then
way.
all through high school. That was one of my biggest priorities, I would say, all through high school. But then I also played basketball, and I loved basketball. Like I took that pretty seriously,
Right.
as seriously as high school kids do. You know what I mean? It wasn't
Sure.
like I was up at 5 a.m. with the Mamba mentality, getting shots up or anything.
But you loved it, man.
Yeah,
You
I
liked
loved
it.
exactly. So. I honestly, man, that was always my thing. Like in school itself, I loved like English lit. Like I loved writing and literature and things
Okay.
like that, reading.
That was your strong suit. So like
Yeah,
if you said like If I was like, what was your, you would be like, yeah, I wasn't a science. I was more of an English guy.
Yeah.
I got you, bro.
Yeah, in high school, it's in a small school and a small high school. I was decent all around,
Yeah.
And so, I thought the med school path was reasonable. And I have an older sister. She's 3 or 4 years older than me. Shout out Cody. What up? She's the best, dude. And she's a legit doctor now.
Awesome.
And so she was on the med school path when I was still in high school. So I was like, oh, if Cody's doing it, I can also do it. Might as well do that.
Right.
So yeah, that was my frame for going into that. But it's hilarious because our English teacher, Miss Henry, she told me when I was a senior, she knew me really well because I was in the AP Lit classes and things like that. And she told me flat out, she's like, you're not going to be a doctor, right? You're going to be a writer. You're meant to be a writer.
No way, really?
And
she was just honest
at the time. I laughed it off at the time, and then 3 years later, I'm changing my major from science to journalism.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy
she
that
called it.
It's that's actually really cool, man. Whenever foreshadowing like that comes through,
Yeah.
So, all right. So you were in college. Going into college, I know you mentioned you went to WVU.
Mm-hmm.
Were you still on a pre-med track at that point?
Yeah, I think 2.5 years into the pre-chem track, I got through, the first 2 years pretty issue-free.
Mm-hmm.
And then organic chemistry hit, and that is when shit got real.
Yeah, dude. You were like, nah, bro, this isn't for me.
No, dude, it was the first time in my life I couldn't just skate through a class.
Yep.
I tell everyone, I know you're a combat sports guy, so I liken it to jiu-jitsu for sure. Organic chemistry is the time when you realize if you're about it or not. Jiu-jitsu, if we get in a street fight, right?
Yeah.
There's a chance any grown adult male can knock you out. Everyone basically knows how to ball up a fist and throw something.
Okay, yeah.
But you're never going to luck into an arm bar.
Yeah, exactly. You have to know that.
You got to know how to do that.
Right.
And that's where organic chemistry was. It was the first time where you can't guess. You can't figure this out.
And you can't fake it till you make it.
Exactly.
Right.
You got to learn it. You got to know it. You got to love it. And I was not loving it.
Oh, bro, I would be so cooked. I'm sorry, Mom. I totally cheated on my chemistry. In high school, I was so bad at that shit made no sense to me. All right. So at that point you were like, hey, I'm not, maybe I should lean into writing or what were you kind of thinking?
Yeah, because I was writing for the school's newspaper at the time on the side and I just
at WVU.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I really loved that. And I was writing for the arts and entertainment section. So I was doing music reviews and covering local concerts and covering stuff at the Creative Arts Center and things like that, which was awesome. So it was basic journalism stuff to start. And I was just clearly falling in love with that. You know what I mean? Sure. I was like, I could do this. And then got into that instead, changed my major, and kind of that really set the wheels in motion for literally everything that followed, because that's where MMA came into play too. Bleacher Report was hiring while I was still in college for their MMA section, and I just applied out of nowhere. I was like, oh, I think I can write. That's all they need, right?
Yeah, so you weren't really necessarily a focus on MMA at that point.
No, not at all.
Your sport was basketball.
Exactly.
Have you ever I gotta ask you, because I was a wrestler kid, but I feel there was always a little bit beef between basketball players, especially in Pennsylvania, where it's wrestling is actually a big sport, but it's the basketball players.
Yeah. No, I get that.
But
for sure.
Did you were you an MMA fan growing up?
For sure, probably when I was sophomore in high school, I would say, which was a while ago. That's 2005 or 6.
You got into it, yeah.
Yeah. So my cousin he was older. He's 12, 13 years older than me. And he was buying the pay-per-views. Every UFC pay-per-view he would buy, and we'd go to his house and watch them. So it was Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz.
Bro, that's
Randy
early
Couture
on,
days.
too.
Yeah.
I don't even think I was really a loyal UFC fan until probably 2012.
Oh, yeah.
I picked it up later. That's crazy.
Yeah. So it was probably oh, sorry, I just hit that.
No, you're good, brother.
I didn't.
No,
you're
up.
But
totally fine.
I'd say it's UFC 60-ish. You know what I mean? Late UFC 58 or so. I don't know, in that realm. And then I started just falling in love with MMA, and it was kind of funny because at the same time in West Virginia, MMA was legalized while I was writing for the paper. So the first legal sanctioned West Virginia MMA event was coming to Morgantown while I was at WVU writing. So I was like, I got to cover this show. This is all me, bro.
So that's insane. So you applied for the job with Bleacher Report.
Mm-hmm.
You already got that, or you were waiting to hear back, or did you Did you cover this new thing for Bleacher Report?
I think I covered it for the school's newspaper, actually, because it was like Morgantown, and it was right down the street from the college. So,
dude, and how about that? Like, when you told me that, like, legalizing MMA, I was like, what the fuck?
In like 2012, yeah. I'd have to check the actual date, but I would say 2012, man.
Isn't that just like is that just like a sports sanction thing?
Yeah, I think so. The athletic commissions, you know what I mean? Because they dictate everything in Pennsylvania as well. In every state, it's overseen by the state athletic commission, and they all have different rules, different regulations. Like, even to this day, for fighters in Pittsburgh, when they go fight in West Virginia, like AMI fighters, the rule set is basically a pro rule set for them in West Virginia. Like, there's head kicks, there's knees to the head. But in Pennsylvania, it's really restrictive of what you can and can't do to protect the fighters as they learn and gain experience, which I like.
So West Virginia's a little bit more lax on the rules?
Yeah, it's like the Wild West.
What about, like, that's crazy because it's the newest. Is it the newest state to bring it in?
It's got to be one of them.
It's got to be one of the newest.
Yeah.
That's crazy. 20, even like, I don't know. Dude, I was like in high school. Like,
yeah.
No, I don't know. It doesn't feel like that long ago, bro.
So I think they were doing shit, but that was just the first legal sanction, like totally on the up and up. But I'm sure they were having fights in West Virginia, especially like tough man style boxing tournaments and stuff like that were for sure happening. But yeah, it was a cool event. Dude, the crazy thing is, like, I can't even remember the main event. I know there was a pretty high-level female fight on that where the women, one of them actually went on to Invicta, which is a really popular, like, all-female org. Yeah, so it was cool, super cool experience. And then just being around the more regional, local fight game. You know, there were a lot of coaches and fighters from Pittsburgh on that card and on other cards that came to Morgantown. So I got to know, like, the Pittsburgh scene through that. Initially, yeah.
Right on. Okay, cool. And so going in after that, you were working for Bleacher Report, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and like, what was that like? Like, would they ever pay for you to go to events?
Yeah, for sure, man. So like bigger UFC events or any UFC events that were like somewhat drivable for me at the time. So like UFC 172, I believe it was John Jones versus Glover Teixeira in Baltimore. Yeah. So I drove to that and covered that. And then there was an event in Fairfax, Newark, New Jersey. Like any of the East Coasty shows that I could get to, they would fund and let me go and everything, give me a credential.
And were you covering like UFC or all MMA? So like Bellator at the time and all that stuff too?
Yeah, it was all MMA, but like realistically.
Mostly just UFC at that point in time where like, I get it.
The editor wants page views and shares and stuff, and the UFC is what gets the clicks.
Yep. Cool, dude. So, all right. So, at what point did you move to Pittsburgh? Was that like when you got the job with Bleacher Report?
A little after, I would say. I may have still been working for Bleacher Report or MMAfighting.com or Flow Combat or something at first, but because I bounced around a few different MMA sites. But,
oh, you work for Flow?
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
I was a Flow guy for about 3 years, I would say, something like that.
Shout out Flow Wrestling.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love those guys.
I actually low-key feel like a dick because I do this all the time. Like the US Open for wrestling will come on, and I'll like subscribe. And then immediately cancel.
You're that guy.
I'm that guy, bro. But it's like, I'm like, dude, it's fucking like $30 a month. There's like, I'm not going to fucking do it. You know what I mean? But shout out.
You're also not going to miss it.
No, I'm not going to miss it.
They know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing, bro.
For sure.
Hey, they got my $30, right? Like, that's all that matters, right?
Man.
You know what I mean?
Bro, 100%. Like, that created one of the coolest full circle moments for me as a professional was when Flow Grappling brought Who's Number One to our venue, to Sunny Days Arena. So we hosted a Flow Grappling event at the venue, which was like, this is crazy.
Yes, I want to get to that, bro. I want to get to that. So, all right. So at what point did you start working with 247, man?
So that was 2021, August 2021, in the post-COVID world. So I was working for DK Pittsburgh Sports at the time, and I was covering the Steelers, Pirates, Penguins, just doing that whole Pittsburgh sports journalist thing.
Okay, and this was like after Bleacher Report.
It was it was right after Flow Combat. So I actually left Flow Combat to work for DK because it's kind of hilarious getting this tattoo. Now I got a Jack Lambert tattoo on this thing. Like Pittsburgh sports were always a big part of my life. And when I saw that opening, I was like, I got to take this for 12-year-old Hunter. You know what I mean? Like 12-year-old me would think this is the coolest shit ever.
Coolest job ever.
Let's go run this out. Like 100%. I'm qualified. Let's do it. So I did that and covered the Pittsburgh pro teams for a while. But after COVID hit, man, it literally it stripped away my favorite part of the job, which was getting face to face with the athletes in the locker room and like telling real stories.
Yeah.
Like I was never a guy who just wanted to report, you know, trade deals and trade transactions and track transactional shit. I cared about their stories and like who they were as human beings. Like that's what I loved getting into.
It just probably didn't feel like, it felt like maybe more like nitty gritty bullshit type.
Right.
Yeah,
you can't do that over a Zoom call, but you can do it face to face in the locker room. You know what I mean? It's tough. So when everything went to Zoom, I was like, man, this is really not for me. So at the same time, I had a background in marketing as well. I worked with this guy, Kevin Popovich, and he ran a boutique in Pittsburgh called Idea House.
Okay.
And we did like social media, website design, that whole modern communications suite of services, you know, that you see for different clients. So I kind of had that background in my back pocket, and I was like, I'm just going to like do that for some clients in the meantime, like run some companies' social media accounts and run their websites.
Well, it was also like a time in the world where like you kind of had to do something remote.
Right. Exactly.
Like you couldn't be fucking out.
So it was perfect. Yeah. So right off the bat, like Hampton Beer Outlet in Allison Park and Josh Danino Moon Golf Club, like two of my very first clients. And to this day, like I still do some stuff for Hampton Beer Outlet.
Nice.
And still talk to Josh all the time. But as I was getting my name out there, I was like, hey, I can probably help your business with this. 247's owner, Ryan Middleton, was he reached out to me. He was like, hey, I saw you're doing this now. He knew me from like the local fight scene in general because it's small. So like I was a journalist in Pittsburgh that covered MMA.
And you liked it.
There's like three of us.
Right.
So he just knew about me through that and reached out. I was like, hey, you want to come like help us out with our marketing and stuff? I did 2 events, and like after the first 2 events I did, he was like, hey, like I think you could have a bigger role with this company. Like how would you feel like learning the business, seeing how we do things, like to make you the general manager? And I'm like laughing at that because general manager sounds so legit and I have 0 business credentials. You know what I mean? Like, I can figure most things out though. So I'm like, let's run it. Let's see what happens. And now 5-ish years later, we're rocking it. Dude, still. Yeah.
You know what though? There's something to be said for like, I mean, even like in this career, like a lot of the guys that I work with who I respect and I really like their work, like they're self-taught. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really look at like how somebody gets to a point. It's like, what can you do once you're there? Like, and if, at least in my case, and it totally seems like this is your case too, just from following along, like if you grind something out enough, you're gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the grind, right?
It's so true. And that's the one constant as well. Like that never ends. Even for people at the highest level, it's, you know, we're just talking about Jaromir Jagr still getting it at 50, however years old in the Czech Pro League. Like
insane.
It never ends for that pursuit. So if you can just figure it out on the fly and work hard and care, that's like one thing that we talk about a lot at 247 is like, we get our wins by A, working harder, and B, caring more. Like there's no secret sauce.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to lose 100 pounds, everybody knows that you eat better and exercise. There's no secret sauce. And there's no secret sauce in business either. It's caring more and working harder. So that's what we literally try to do every single day.
Yeah, bro. It's just put in the reps. So I think like I became aware of 247 probably like 5 or 6 years ago, right around the time that I started like, you know, doing some jiu-jitsu here in Pittsburgh and stuff. And I knew that it was just like the local, like more local circuit.
Yeah.
Now, when did you guys open up Sunny Days Arena? Like, what was that journey like?
Insane, man. That was easily the craziest professional journey I've ever taken. But so it was last August, 2025. It was our official grand opening. We had.
Oh, it's just that recent? No way. It's
very recent, yeah. The craziest part is that we signed our lease probably like 2.5 years ago at this point. It took that long to get in, just the build out, the permitting, all the legalities, man. Local government is not my favorite.
I know, bro. I know. They're like,
you got
like, yeah, you want to try to stimulate the local economy? Yeah. Well, this sewer line's not proper, so fuck you. It's like, dude, what the hell?
Yeah. You gotta let us live, bro. You gotta just let us live.
I know, right?
I get it. They're just doing their job.
I get it.
Holy goodness, is it frustrating.
Oh, bro.
But yeah, so that process getting in just took forever. And then even once we were in, there's additional, you know, like we want to sell food and alcohol. So we had to get liquor license, health permits and everything through Allegheny County. So now we're talking more delays.
Right.
Like we've only been fully cooking, like fully operational for about 45 days now. Like at the beginning of April, we were fully going.
Wow, dude.
So in the meantime, man, shout out to all of our friends who helped us out. And like we were getting food trucks, we were getting alcohol.
So you guys weren't even fully operational when I went to the armored MMA fight?
No, dude, and that's you probably realized that like we were supposed to be about a week before that and it got delayed. So I don't know if you got beer or anything, but like the beer and food situation at that show was a mess. Like it was bad. The lines were crazy.
I did notice, like, but I think people were under, like,
yeah, people kind of know.
People were understanding. I actually just felt so bad because like I was just in line for literally like a Red Bull or something, and then like I got to the front. I was like, listen, like you guys are going through a lot. Like, I just want to tell you, like, I'm gonna give you a couple bucks tip because they were struggling, bro. Like, because the beer was, I don't know, something wasn't like set up right or something like that. And so, anyways,
there were a lot of problems. So that was like a 2 days notice government shutdown thing that we had to scramble and figure something out. So at least we did have stuff.
Yeah, bro. And I imagine that's what it's like running a venue, right? It's just like constantly putting out fires. I'm guessing
it's all a big scramble drill for sure, man. Like. A weirdly like cohesive element of it is that in the fight game, that's how all of our events are too. Like we're used to fighters dropping out on fight week for various reasons or like missing weight badly and the fight gets canceled. So like we're used to rolling with punches, even though we hate it. Like, it's never fun. I never like, oh, I can't wait to put out a fire. But we got pretty good at it and we got used to it and we got a process for dealing with it. So now we just carry that over to the venue. Yeah.
And how do you handle like putting on events like that and stuff, and then also like I guess the instability of it sometimes. How do you handle that with like for example, I mean this is stuff that like Dana White goes through and shit, but like imagine you have like a whole card lined up and then your headliner backs out. Like I get like at some point obviously there's no way to avoid the stress that's associated with that, but like how do you guys I wanted to ask you before, it was one of my questions, like, do you have a hand in finding the fighters, talking to the coaches, or is it usually like MMA gyms, coaches coming to you? How does that work?
That's a great question for sure, man. So it's like a little
matchmaking.
It's a little bit of both for sure. So I do a lot of the matchmaking. We have a guy named Jason Wilson who does a lot of the matchmaking. The owner Ryan chips in with matchmaking, and we got another guy named Stephen Bird who helps out with matchmaking. So it's like a team effort, but at the core, it is more like we go to the gyms, head coaches, and ask who they have available on a certain date.
Yeah.
Like which of your fighters is good to go.
Yeah.
And then from there, we just start pairing them up. Like, oh, there's a 170-pound 3-2 guy here and a 170-pound 3-1 guy here. Yeah. Let's see if they'll fight each other. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And of course, we try to be smart about it and look at styles, and ticket sales are super important for local fighters as well. Like that's how, especially amateur fighters, they make their money through ticket sales and commission there. So like a fighter who sells a lot of tickets versus another fighter who sells a lot of tickets, like we know that's going to be a huge fight for the crowd and everything. So that's good. That's
interesting to learn. I was just going to ask you, like, I have a lot of friends and people that I like have, trained with and stuff that have fought in the 247 events like multiple times. And I was gonna ask, like, obviously it's a grind, like at any level, even the whole way up to the UFC, it's a grind. But I didn't know that was the case with like ticket sales. That's cool.
Yeah.
So then they can kind of control a little bit of their own destiny.
Exactly, man. Yeah. And the UFC pays attention to that, man. 100%. The UFC is looking at their brand, what kind of audience they have at the regional level. Like, they want you to be moving the needle in your city before they care about you, because they know, like, if, for instance, like there's a fighter from Stout named Lucas Siebert.
I know of him. Yeah,
he's undefeated. He just won the CFFC belt, which is a really big deal, like one of the biggest regional belts there is. Won our belt as well back in November. So he's like on the cusp, and he has a regional audience, and like the UFC cares about that because now they know whenever Lucas signs to the UFC and gets his fight, all of Pittsburgh is going to be tuned. Like everybody who cares about MMA in Pittsburgh cares about him now.
Yep.
So now they've absorbed these new fans, because a lot of them might not care about the UFC. They just mostly care about Lucas.
Yeah, that's
so now they're absorbing them and making them UFC fans, no matter what Lucas does.
That's just like whenever Dalton Ross just fought in Pittsburgh for Bellator. Like everyone showed out because it's a Pittsburgh guy.
100%.
That's cool. Okay,
Yeah.
so I guess a good segue question, like, obviously, and we'll get back to like Sunny Days Arena because I think that's cool too. I didn't know about that really, but I think that's opens up a whole world of possibilities with your musical background.
Yeah.
And the venue,
Yeah,
right?
for
Like
sure.
that's so cool. But like with 247, I guess I was just watching a documentary about like this British soccer player, and they were breaking down like levels of British professional soccer, right? Like you have the Premier League, and then you have all these tiers and stuff. Like, how does it work in MMA? Is it kind of like that, like where there's like leagues and they're feeding, or are they all like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I 100% get what you mean. So, the UFC obviously rules the roost. They're the NFL of MMA. Like they are the spot, and they've definitely gotten so huge that there's really no second place. It's just them and then everyone else. And they have their own series now that's called Contender Series, which I'm sure you know about.
Yep.
But it's basically a separate league from the UFC that Dana White conceptualized, and it's like a tryout for the UFC. Like guys who win impressively on Contender Series get signed directly to the UFC. So now Contender Series is like the most direct call-up system. But then you've got the bigger regional organizations like CFFC that I mentioned that Lucas won the belt for, and LFA, where like, if you become CFFC or LFA champ, you're immediately on the UFC's radar.
Where's CFFC?
It's like Philly, New Jersey, Atlantic City, Philly side.
Is that like a Cage Warriors thing, or is that a whole different?
Yeah, I think Cage Warriors might be in England. I'm not 100%.
That's what
sure,
I think.
though.
Cage
Yeah,
Warriors
I'm
was
not
in
100%
England.
sure.
I was like, huh, like I recognize that name.
I think it's Cage Fury Fighting Championships. That's what it is. CFFC.
Cage Fury. Yeah, Cage Fury. Okay, because I've seen that, and I was like, where the fuck is that? And then I've heard of LFA, and I guess I thought. Yeah, that makes sense. I thought it was almost like a feeder organization.
They kind of are. So it's not like formally that, but it works that way.
And
you know what I mean?
they stream it together, right?
Yeah.
Like on UFC Fight Pass.
Yep.
That's why I was, I guess, a little bit confused on it. Because I was
Exactly.
like, it's on UFC Fight Pass, I think.
UFC's smart, man. They know exactly.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Now, I guess what's crazy though is like, in my head, I compare it to like the world of like fake wrestling. like I guess hypothetically, there was a time when like during like the Stone Cold Steve Austin era or whatever, where like WWE was like getting worked by like what CWA. There was a little bit of a time where they were really competing and pushing it.
Sure.
It was like whenever I just watched the Hulk Hogan documentary, like when he was like Bad Hulk or whatever the fuck. But
that's
like
awesome.
Hypothetically, I guess like some of these other leagues, since they are in competition, like I don't know, maybe one or somebody could like rise up to the level.
It would be good for everyone, I think. I definitely think it'd be good for the sport to have competition at the top.
Yeah.
But the UFC has such a stranglehold on everything.
I know,
and
man.
like oddly enough, that MVP card, I know this isn't live, but it was last night.
Yeah.
The Rousey Carano card. Like everybody thought like, oh, here's a real contender. And then you watch the product and it's just like, this is not a contender.
I didn't watch it, but was it?
I saw the last two fights because we had a concert at the venue actually.
Yeah, was it pretty like?
Dude, it was.
Well, it's just like for me, like,
sad.
Like I shout out, the people that try, like Jake Paul and whatever. But like, to me, I don't know. I can never take that super seriously.
Right,
I don't know why, but.
I mean, it was kind of like, oddly, it was like watching Jordan and Shaq play one-on-one now. You know what I mean? Like, okay, these are two names that obviously were goated in their time.
Yeah.
But like, it's not the same now.
And what about like Nate Diaz, bro?
Yeah,
like
he's 41. He's taken a ton of damage in his career.
Brutal,
like,
dude.
Yeah, it was a terrible fight.
They stopped that fight, right?
For a cut, which.
And then I saw an interview. Mike Perry was like, "Bro, I might be the best middleweight in the world." I was like,
"Take it easy."
I was like, I don't know about that. I don't know if he'd really crack the top 15 right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Perry is I like Mike Perry.
I love Mike Perry, but also realistically, no.
Yeah, and like I gotta give it to him, bro. Like he's been very successful with like bare knuckle and shit. Like not a lot of people leave UFC and have success in other organizations.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
that's such a good point. Like leaving the UFC used to be a total death sentence.
Yes.
Like once you were gone, you were forgotten about.
Yep.
For sure. And Perry's one of the few guys who got out and actually got more popular. So
yeah, bro.
fully shout out to him for that.
What about like, okay, so like on the regional circuit, So say you guys have like, I don't know, did Cody ever fight at 247?
Never did. No, we had him scheduled for a grappling match, I think, at one point, but like a Sprawl in the Berg jiu-jitsu super fight. But
maybe it was before. Like, when did 247 start?
2019.
Okay.
2019. Yeah.
So maybe it was before that, because I remember he was fighting at some.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Because like me and him have been friends since 2021.
Nice.
So at that point, he was already signed with Bellator.
Okay.
So I don't know. I think he had like one fight or two fights.
Yeah.
And he fought in some like more regional circuit. I'm not sure where it was.
I have to look it up. Yeah, I'm not 100% positive either, but yeah. He was kind of like Dalton, where he went almost straight to Bellator once he was pro. If not, literally straight to Bellator once he was pro.
Yeah.
I remember they were on a very similar path and deal and everything.
Yeah. Now, what about with like people like Ethan Goss, right? Yeah. Who's like just a legend in like local Pittsburgh MMA, right? Like he's been multiple time 247 champion. Did like in a situation like that, is that the type of person like you're like, all right, he's probably got a good shot at getting called up to other organizations?
100%. He had a fight for us, unfortunately. So he was our champ actually. He had our 145 and 155 pound belts, which was our first time ever having a pro hold 2 belts.
Yeah.
And at that point, we knew he was super close. Ethan's story is kind of interesting because it's layered in that he started his pro career 6-6. 6 wins, 6 losses. So he was a total 500 guy.
Yeah.
And that's a death sentence. Like UFC wants you to be 9-0.
Knocking everyone
9-1, 8-2, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And just finishing dudes. So being 6-6 was such a hard hole to climb out of. And I think he got to like 12-6, maybe even 13-6. Like he just rattled off a crazy run with us.
Yep.
And by the time he was champ, he fought this dude, Brady Huang from California, and unfortunately lost by heel hook in that. Or else, I strongly think if he had won that fight, he would have got signed to the UFC. Like, I know his management was talking to them, and it was very close, and they like just wanted to see one more out of him. And he was going to get probably like a late fill-in type fight in the UFC. You know what I mean? Like, come prove yourself type fight.
Yeah.
He was never going to be the Bo Nickel, like, we're going to build a future around you type guy. But he was going to get his shot to prove it, which is all Ethan ever wants. You know, if it's down to prove it, like Ethan will always prove it. So.
Did he retire?
No, he fought for PFL on that same card that Dalton was on, actually.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay. So he was fighting for 247, and then that's where I actually, because I saw that he fought with PFL.
Yeah.
So that was after he
lost for us. Yeah.
Ah, okay, got it. And did he lose a decision in that PFL fight?
He lost. So the ref stopped it because he thought he went to sleep in a submission in a guillotine, but he wasn't out. Like he literally popped right back up and was protesting. Bro. It was like, why did you stop that kind of thing? It was weird.
That is so brutal. It
sucked, man. Yeah.
That's like, honestly, I could never be it's such a brutal game, man. Even like my good friend Cody, like he was 7-0. Mm-hmm. In Bellator, and he had all this steam, and he had a couple losses, and it was like, you know, I don't know if this was all like the sentiment, but I feel like you said, like people kind of just like when you're not hype, it's like you're forgotten about. And then he bounced back and got, or maybe he was 5-0. Yeah. And then he had like 2 losses, and he won 2 right away.
Yep.
And like but like in that interim period, people were like, all right, on to the next. You know, and it's like, why?
It's so brutal, man.
It's such a brutal sport. Like I think of other sports, and I don't know if there's another sport like MMA in the sense that you have to literally give so much for so little.
Oh, dude.
To get even off the ground with
you're nailing. I don't know what other sport is. I mean, I'm sure there are other things like that. I just think with MMA and combat sports in general, it's so heightened because the work you're putting in is literally getting the shit beat out of you every day.
Yeah,
like
dude.
It's different when you're training for a marathon, you know what I mean? Like running's brutal and running's super tough on your body, but you're definitely not getting concussions and getting punched in the face. There's levels to this.
Right.
I think you're dead on. Like it is such an unforgiving and ungiving, I guess, profession to choose. Like it does not give until it gives everything.
Yep.
It may never give everything.
Yeah,
you may not
and like
get there.
even like monetarily, like I know that this was a topic I wanted to talk about a little bit. Like like in the UFC, there's all this like complaints about fighter pay, and like Ngannou left at one point because like he wasn't making enough money. And then you see like, you know, he made like, I think $1.5 million last night or whatever, which is dope. Like, get that bag, bro.
Yeah.
But it is interesting because like, I was thinking about this. I used to romanticize like, oh man, what if I really trained? I don't know. Like, what if I like really trained and like really got in a fight? And then I'm thinking to myself, like, I have friends who are amateurs or whatever, and it's like they lose money to fight.
Yeah, 100%
at the beginning stages.
At first, yeah.
So it's like so hard. And I'm like, damn, like that just plays to like how much respect I have to people that believe in themselves. Because like they're basically, there's not a lot of things in this life that people would probably give 3, maybe 4 years of like hard times, hope, right?
Yeah.
Just for that shot. And MMA to me is one of those things. And that's why it's such a cool sport to follow, you know?
Man, I think about that all the time with our fighters. And that's like literally why I respect every single person who gets in there, from the debut amateur who may never fight again after that one fight, all the way up to the Ethan Gosses, you know?
Yep.
Like, respect to every single one, because you got to put so much into that. Like you said, it's a state-sanctioned sport. So there's literal paperwork, medicals you got to pay for. Like, you got to come out of pocket. If you're not selling tickets, you will lose money as an amateur to fight. Like, that's all there is to it. And some amateurs can make a lot of money through ticket sales for sure. So there is that element as well. Like, we have amateurs that fight for us that leave with bigger checks than the pros. Like,
that's insane.
It's crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
well, I mean, I'd imagine like, like Gavin.
Yeah, Gavin sold like crazy.
He has like a name because he's had such a good pedigree with his wrestling and everything. And same thing with like the Cahills and stuff like that. Like, that makes sense. Like, these guys are like, you know, they have a name. So
exactly.
So that, I guess that's a huge part of it too.
Yeah, I don't know if you know Hoot as well as the other ones, but Hoot Lee is like, he sells like crazy too. He's so fun.
I know Hoot. I've only met him like a couple times.
Yeah.
He was a little bit younger
than
I was, because I think I graduated the same year as like Gavin and Taylor.
Oh, okay, nice.
And I only got to know Gavin through Taylor, but
nice.
So that's really cool. So now back to like Sunny Days Arena. You guys are you do 247 there. I actually just recently went. It was really, really dope, bro. My wife, I had like known Hunter just through social media, really, and known of him. And then my wife, she got like asked to be like a influencer or whatever by this Armored MMA league.
Yes.
Fucking sick, bro.
It is so sick.
That shit was so cool.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't really like look into it that much beforehand. And then when she told me about it, she was like, we got these free tickets. And I was like, all right, cool. And we got like, dude, the VIP
Oh, yeah,
experience.
you were sitting like in the cage almost.
Dude, it was insane. We got to go there early, meet all the fighters, go in the cage, meet the owner of Armored MMA. And
Mickey,
he was so
he's the
cool,
man,
super
bro.
nice guy. And like, I got to try on his fucking stanky ass helmet. Yeah, it was wild, bro. But
that's sick. They're heavy, dude.
Dude,
The
they're
helmet's
heavy
so
as hell,
heavy,
bro.
yeah.
That was such an interesting thing. And I like, shout out Armored MMA. Like, I didn't know what to expect, but it was very entertaining.
Yes, 100%, dude. Having them at the venue has been a blessing. That was our second time having them, and looking like a third's on the horizon. If that
bro.
You, so
let's go. Dude, I mean, I thought what I thought was cool about it was they do an amazing job with their socials.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think they have like 1 million followers.
Yeah, dude, we try to pick his brain every time they're in, because they just absolutely
crush it, bro.
Marketing. And as you saw, like, that was a capacity crowd. Like, there were 1,200 people there. You know what I mean?
It was full.
They do well, yeah.
And that's why I think, like, for me, I thought one thing that was cool is, like, you know, they just offered my wife free tickets. Like,
that is awesome.
And she posted to a whole audience of people. Like, she doesn't have an insane following, but she has, like, you know, more than 10,000 or whatever. And, like, she posted to a different audience, right? Like girls who are goth.
Yep.
And like, they might not give a fuck about MMA, but if people are in armor, like, they're gonna be like, let's go, dude.
Swords and armor, you say.
Right, exactly, bro. Suddenly it's like, oh, I would go for that. You know, because it's almost like that Ren Fair vibe.
It is, yeah.
It's funny, I was talking to some of the fighters beforehand, and I was like, I asked the one guy, I was like, how'd you get into it? And like some of them are like, you know, you can tell they look like MMA fighters.
Yeah.
And then like some of them are like just like don't look
I know
like they've ever played a sport in their life. And I was like, damn. And the one kid, he was like, well, I was pretty fucked up at the Ren Fair one time, and I saw these guys fighting in armor, and I thought I could probably do that. And so he like, because what's interesting about armored MMA is you have the guys that train at some of the like really legit gyms in Nashville or whatever. And then I learned there's like people that literally just like do it in their backyard. And they're just like, fucking put me on the card.
Love of the game, brother.
But dude, I saw that guy get absolutely ragdolled that night, dude. Like the guy he went against, I don't know if it was a heavyweight fight. But like, I didn't even ask them. Maybe you know about this, but the weight ranges seem to be pretty big in that.
Yeah, they are. And they also choose how much armor they wear.
Yeah.
So, like, that plays a huge factor as well, from what I understand, which is interesting. So, like, you could go in with less armor and be a bigger guy, but you got less armor. So, obviously, that's a problem in and of itself.
But, dude, it was almost like this fight was almost like watching, like, a smaller version of, like, a Tai Tuivasa.
Oh, God.
Fighting, like, a fucking, I don't even know, like Butterbean, dude.
Yeah,
it was, dude, the guy was huge.
Nice.
And I mean, Tai Tuivasa is kind of a big guy, so it's not even a good comparison.
Yeah.
But like a very small heavyweight fighting a monster, and he just got ragdolled. And I think it's crazy. Funny. Like, it's so loud, too.
Oh, it's so loud.
I enjoyed that so much. It was like, and for the record, we got to go in and we got to check out their gear. And in my head, I'm thinking like, all right, they're swinging these swords. They've got to be pretty fucking soft. Like, they're not like, they're probably like plastic or something.
No.
Bro, we held these swords. They were like 5 pounds.
Dude, they're legit swords.
They're like legit swords.
They are dull. We'll say that. They
are
don't
dull.
have edges.
They don't have edges.
That. But...
And you're not allowed to, the rule set is you're not allowed to stab.
Yeah.
But like hypothetically, like the owner was explaining, like, I don't know, if you throw full strength and the person goes up with their neck and it slips inside, you could get a really bad injury.
Oh,
you know
dude,
what I'm saying?
It's still a huge chunk of
it's
metal
hitting
you in the
sword.
neck.
Yeah, dude, it's insane.
Yeah,
dude, what a wild sport, man.
So, fun fact on Armored MMA, the first time they were here at Sunny Days Arena, it was on December 6th, I want to say, 2025. The PA Athletic Commission wasn't going to let it happen because it's not a sanctioned sport in PA.
No way.
So we got the owner, Mickey, who you met. We got him and the commission connected. They did everything necessary to get it sanctioned and legalized. So that was actually the first legal sanctioned armored MMA event in Pennsylvania history. Yeah.
See, really because cool. I feel like that Mickey just seems like a really brilliant
businessman. Man.
He seems like a really good business guy.
I love that dude.
Dude, so that's so cool. And then, back to like your music background and just the arena in general, like, are you guys, it's a cool venue, man. Like,
thanks,
the first time I had gone there, I wasn't really sure what to expect, but it's a fucking sick venue.
Yeah,
like,
thanks, man.
I would compare it to, in size, almost like, it seemed even bigger than like the Roxanne. Have you ever been to the Roxanne?
Yeah, 100%. I love that place.
Like,
yeah.
But I like how at Sunny Days Arena, they have 2 tiers. Like, you got the bars on both levels.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you could be watching the concert, you could be down in, like, standing room, or you could be, like, more chill.
Yeah.
Up at, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we're kind of our own thing. It's funny because I struggle to compare it to a venue here, too, which I think is a good thing. It's closest to, like, Jurgles or Stage AE indoors, maybe. But even then, we're really not like that. It's different.
No, it's
still
different, bro.
Yeah, so our capacity is about 1,300. When it's, like, fully packed out, it's 1,300. But we also have a smaller stage upstairs we call the Pellman Electric Attic stage. And we can shut down the bottom level altogether. Like, we literally just had a show last night to do this with. So for, like, smaller shows, we can do, like, 350 capacity and under only upstairs and just run it upstairs on our upstairs stage. Or we can open up the whole venue as we did for, like, Armored MMA or our MMA shows or bigger concerts that are coming, like, on the main stage downstairs. And then it's a full venue, full arena balcony show. So it's a super flexible space. And like, to your point, there's a lot of different options for like, what kind of experience do you want to have? Like, do you want to be in the thick of it? Do you want to be chill? Do you want to just go out and have a couple drinks and some food and chill? Or do you want to be up on stage partying with the band?
Yeah, dude.
Like, choose your adventure.
That's what I liked about it. Like, I could tell there were people, we were like, for the Armored MMA event, we were like right there. And it was so dope. We were like cage side, bro. They really hooked us up. They were like, I was literally right next to the cut guy. I was like, this is so sick.
Yeah.
But, you know, people were like all along the balcony and just kind of vibing. Like, I like it. I think it has a lot of potential, man.
Thanks,
I think
man.
It's a dope spot.
That means a lot. We're working on a lot of cool stuff. Like, for sure, getting some more national act bands in there. Like, very soon we'll have bands that people have heard of. You know what I mean? No disrespect to the local bands who have been playing, but I'm talking about like, ask an average person on the sidewalk, have you heard of X? Like, we're going to start getting those bands soon.
That's good.
Yeah.
Now, do you think also, like, when it comes to musicians and touring and stuff like that, because it has the proximity to Pittsburgh, is that something where, like, obviously, like, big acts, like, they come to, like, major cities, right?
Yep.
So do you think you guys can still tap into that because you're, like, close enough to Pittsburgh that it's not like, that's what I figured.
100%. I mean, Jurgles, for instance, like,
where's that?
It's in Cranberry.
In Cranberry?
Yeah.
No
So they get some. And then, like,
I've been to Stage AE, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. That's obviously purely downtown Pittsburgh. But
right.
Yeah, I mean, there's places on the I mean, look at oh my God, what's it called now? Star Lake again, right?
Bro, that's out there. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Like, they'll go for the band. Like,
you're
people
absolutely
will go,
right.
yeah.
I think also with Star Lake, I never really think of that the same because it's just so big. It's just outside.
Agreed. Yeah, it's so.
But it's also like, you know, no shade, but I literally will not go to a concert there unless whoever I'm going with is down to leave an hour early. Because there's no way I'm fucking getting caught in that parking situation. That's why I like
so bad.
where you guys are. Like, you have it's like a big mall. Was it like used to be a mall or some shit?
Theater.
Yeah, it used to be a movie theater. Yeah. And so, like, there's a lot of fucking parking, which is nice. And it's, like, near a main road.
Yeah, it's right off 30, man.
So, like, it's not like, you know.
Yeah, we, I would say, lucked out with a lot of stuff like that. Like, having 850 free parking spots at a venue in Pittsburgh is super rare.
Insane. That's super rare,
awesome,
bro. Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff we're able to do there, and we're going to continue to just lean into, because I think there's a lot of movement. Like, I don't know how closely you pay attention to, like, the music scene as a whole, the music culture now, but, like, there's a lot of pushback on these Live Nation and Ticketmaster venues and things like that.
Yeah.
And we're not that. Like, we are the independently owned local venue, and I think we can really make a splash with that.
Tell me a little bit more about that. Like, for people that aren't familiar, like, doesn't it have to do with, like, the percentage with the venue that ends up trickling down to the musician not being much?
Exactly, right? Yeah. And also just the consumer experience. Like, there's a lot of bots that buy up all the tickets, and then it creates a resale market where ticket prices are insane. Yes. Because, well, it's sold out.
I didn't think about that.
Now you need it. Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's so
beat. It's crazy, man. But they've also monopolized it to the point of where a lot of tours only hit these Live Nation venues. Like, the tour is basically like a Live Nation tour. Because,
that's what I thought, because that's why, like, you know, it's kind of stupid, but, like, even some of the biggest acts, like, won't even come to Pittsburgh.
Exactly.
They'll only go to, like, Philly or some shit. And I'm like, dude, we have great venues
100%.
that are big enough to, and we have definitely enough, like, people that would show out.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
So, yeah, with us, I mean, we set our ticket prices. Our prices are all in. Like, the price you see on the website, there's no additional fees. It's that price. Like, if you're getting a $25 ticket, when you check out, your card's charged $25.
Yeah,
it's not like Ticketmaster. You get this $50 ticket and you're paying $120.
That's exactly what's crazy, bro. Like, the last time that I got a ticket, I don't know, it was maybe like something to Stage AE, but I was like, oh, like, this is a good deal. It's like $40, and then the fees were literally double.
Yeah, it doubles.
I was like, now I have a fucking $100 tickets. Like, that's crazy weird, bro. Yeah.
On the other end, like, before we had the venue, we actually looked to have an MMA show at Stage AE. Yeah. Like, we looked into renting it out and everything.
No way.
And I think Stage AE is awesome. I think the vibe of it's awesome. The amenities they have are amazing. Like, it would have been a really cool show.
Right.
But their ticketing platform is so busted for anyone that's not them. Like, we literally crunched the numbers like every which way. We really wanted to make it happen because we thought a downtown show was going to be just bananas.
Oh, it probably would have popped off.
But no matter how we crunched the numbers,
no
because
way
of
to
the
make money
chokehold they had, no way. Impossible.
Is it just because they take a percentage of the ticket sales that's so unreasonable?
Yeah. It's partly that, but also they just require you to do a lot of like, you have to use their sound and lighting. Like you can't bring in your own sound and lighting, which that's super expensive too. So there's like just a bunch of things they do, and like our fighters, like I've said, they work on ticket commissions. So like they need tickets to sell, but they have to get them through the Stage AE box office and pay $5 per ticket that they want to sell.
Man.
So it's like no fighter is going to consign tickets if they have to pay for it. Exactly. Like, oh, I'm already only getting a percentage, and now you're taking $5 on top of that.
Yeah,
there's just no way to do it. Yeah.
No.
It's not, for our industry, it just wasn't feasible. Yeah.
That's really interesting. I wanted to ask you about that too, because I think obviously like whenever I first started, I'd like to have Hunter on the podcast, I was thinking like, oh, we'll talk a lot about 247, but honestly, it's really cool because like the idea of hosting events, there's a lot that goes into that.
No doubt, man.
And even like little shit, like we had a flash event here, or like just setting up this fucking podcast. It's like such a pain in the ass. So like when you're setting up a large event that's gonna have anywhere between 1,000 and 5,000 people, what's a timeline like that on? Because you guys are always doing, like how many events do you guys put on a year at 247?
Man, of our own, like 9 probably at this point.
That's a lot though.
Yeah.
That's almost one every fucking month.
Yeah, for sure.
So
it's a lot.
How much planning goes into it? And then also, is it a lot of just like, once you have the system down, you just keep going with it?
Kinda, yeah. It's definitely a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Like at first when I started working with 247, it was insanely overwhelming. The owner, Ryan Middleton, like he deserves all the credit in the world because he is the insanely meticulous type guy who does create systems and processes for everything, who cares about every single detail. So like I was learning directly from him, so I saw everything. All like that's how I was trained, you know?
Right.
So now it's like I'm able to reverse engineer it, right? Like I know how everything works. Now I need to just go make it happen. So that worked out on that level. But like to your question, 60 days, like if we have 60 days, we can put on a banger event for sure. You'd like to have 90, but like 60's fine. We could do an event in like 30 at this point probably, but you don't like to, you know what I mean? That's very short notice in this business. But like a concert, like if ticket sales weren't a part of it, like you would definitely want, again, like 60 days to properly promote and get people to actually come to the concert.
Yep.
Like if we weren't considering that aspect, we could do a concert in like 5 days or less. Like the setup is so much easier than MMA. It's not even comparable. Like
really?
It's crazy, yeah.
Why is it so much easier?
So I think a huge part of it is the athletic commission's oversight of MMA. So there's way more paperwork, hurdles just on that level.
That makes sense.
And you've got 10 to 14 fights, which means 20 to 28 fighters and their coaches to coordinate.
Damn,
so it's like a huge cast of people to worry about their hotels.
Versus like one band or 3 bands. It's like you probably deal with their manager.
Exactly, man. So
and that's it.
Yep. Oh, dude, we like Ryan and I are cracking up the first couple concerts we had.
You're like easy bread, bro.
Dude, because we were worried. You know what I mean? We were like, we never did a concert before. Like, what if we can't do this? What if we suck at this? And then it came through, and we're like, oh shit, that's it.
Oh, I think you guys were killing in the concert world. Now, let me ask you this: what got him into making a fucking fighting league? Like, that's so interesting to me.
His story is like super interesting to me. He was always an entrepreneurial mind for sure, but I think he was working for the man, we'll just say, with air quotes,
for sure,
and got to a point in his life where he was like, dude, I'm like getting older, I have kids, like it's time for me to do something for me. Like I want to do something I care about. Yeah. And he was a huge MMA fan. So at the time, Matt Layshock from Southside Boxing, shout out Matt, he's the GOAT, dude.
Is that the head coach over there?
Yeah. I love that guy so much. He was running Pinnacle Fighting Championships at the time, which is like everybody who matters in Pittsburgh MMA fought through Pinnacle on the way up. Like all the OG, like if you were creating a Mount Rushmore of Pittsburgh MMA fighters, like they were all Pinnacle guys at some point. So Matt was like getting towards the end of having shows. You could tell like the cadence was slowing down a bit. And from how Ryan tells the story at least, like he basically reached out like, hey, I'm super big MMA fan, like love the UFC and everything. Would love to like help out on the regional level and like help you put on a few shows.
Yeah.
So Ryan like started working with Matt and Pinnacle, kind of learned the ropes there. But the writing was on the wall that like Matt just didn't care about having shows anymore.
Yeah,
Dude,
he was
it's
over
so
it.
hard, bro.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like you were saying for the fighters, but it's like that for promoters too. Like you put so much in, and breaking even is not guaranteed.
It's a fucking business, bro.
Not guaranteed.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So Matt was kind of at the end of his rope with it, and Ryan basically was like, "I'm just gonna start my own thing. Like I'm passionate about this. I want to see what I can grow." And man, he just kind of ran with it from there. Started his own promotion.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, so like before I ever got into tattooing, I had another business, and I would honestly, even to this day, if somebody asked me like, I think I'm more entrepreneurial than just strictly artistic. Like,
Okay, yeah,
I'm definitely more entrepreneurial, but
that's awesome.
it is interesting. Like, I think a lot of people, they see something like, you know, a fighting circuit, or they see really any business in general, and they just think like, well, that's just that, right? And then you peel back the curtain and you think like, dude, the operational cost to run something is so hard. And it honestly is such a gamble, man. Like, I used to be in the, you know, the retail industry, but a huge component of that was the manufacturing of it. And it's so capital intensive.
Oh,
and the crazy thing about like, even I would imagine putting on an event, for me, I look at it like I used to manufacture footwear, okay? And we used to make the product, but I didn't have the bread at the time and all the way to fund like, you know, hundreds of pairs of runs at a time. So I would do like pre-orders, pre-sales, right?
Yeah.
And then once I made the money, or I had an investor, like an equity partner in the business, and he put in money that I put into the inventory, and then I was able to like, you know, invest in the inventory without any pre-sales. But even then, it was still very risky because you're like,
a gamble, man.
It's a huge gamble.
Yeah.
Like, I'm putting down all this money that you're not going to see until 30 to 90 days after you get the product.
Hopefully.
Right?
Yeah.
So is that kind of like, do you guys put a lot of emphasis on your marketing budget?
Oh, dude, for sure. Yeah, we actually, within the past
I've seen your ads like many times,
cool, man.
right?
That's good.
So it's working.
They're doing their job.
Yeah,
good,
it's doing the
dude.
job, right?
Yeah, we actually, we did it all ourselves for the longest time. Like Ryan,
it's fucking hard too.
It's so hard, and it's time intensive too. It's
Extremely
like
time-intensive.
setting up an effective online ad campaign. Like anybody can learn it, I would say, but you still got to monitor that thing. It still takes time to set up right and do it the right way. So.
Yes.
We actually hooked up with a marketing agency out of Nashville called Bauer Entertainment Marketing, and they're doing all of our stuff now.
Awesome.
It's obviously way more expensive than doing it ourselves, but the payoff is that it's better, and Ryan and I can focus on other shit that we need to focus on. Yeah.
Listen, like, I'd like to ask you this, as an entrepreneur, something that has stuck with me was like early on, people told me, like my brother, who's also a business guy, like, the best business people are the ones who delegate well. Do you feel like that's kind of been your journey with it? Like even with the social media, like, sure, you guys could save some bucks by making all of the posts yourself, but that's like 8 or 10 hours a week that you could be putting into something else.
Dude, your brother's smart, first of all, very wise. It's funny. It's funny to ask me that at this time, because I think that is my biggest weakness as a professional, is the inability to delegate. Like I'm not even a control freak. I just get to a point where like if I spend an hour teaching somebody something that I could have done in 5 minutes, it's hard for me to reconcile that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's hard for me to be like, I'm just going to do it.
Yes.
I'll just get it done. I know it'll be done right, and that's fine.
Yep.
Then we move on. But like that hour that you would spend will pay off over time. Like, okay, yeah, this time you spent an hour, but now you never need to do that again. Like, so
sure.
The 21st time he does it, there you go. There's your hour back.
That's it.
Yeah.
No, so. I mean, I'm right there with you. I had a hard time with that too. And I stupidly sometimes use this as an excuse as well. But like the one thing I remember from like school, like business, I went to college for, business or whatever.
Nice.
And I dropped out, but but the one thing I really remember was like time value of money. That was his concept, right? And I it stuck with me because from this point on, I've totally used it to gaslight many times. But like from that point, it's like, you know, in my life, like anything that I do that I can hire somebody for less than my hourly rate that I charge to do tattoos,
right,
I'm gonna do that.
Yep.
Because if I could be sitting in the chair, I'm more profitable. That's time value of money. So like my wife or whatever, it's like, well, what about the grass? I'm like, I'm gonna hire somebody to pay to mow the grass, baby girl.
$100, yeah.
Listen, at the end of the day, it's more time that I'm working, and I think to a degree, that is a really good thing to keep in mind.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. Just because I'm not great at it doesn't mean I don't think I should be great at it, I guess is how I'll put it. I'm working on it for sure. It's important. Yeah.
No, dude. And I also think that's so hard though, because like when you're passionate about something too, like it's easy for me to say that with cutting the grass, right? Because I don't fucking care about that.
Exactly.
But if it's like, if somebody was like, oh, hey, Mark, I want to run your whole social media page, I'd be like, but that's my baby. You know what I mean? That's my thing, right?
I like doing it.
I know, dude.
There are certain things that, like, I like having my hand in that.
Yes.
But like, yeah, man, it's definitely part of the process, like over time, especially now at the venue with just 100 things in 100 different directions, concerts, comedy, MMA. I'm booking stuff, I'm matchmaking, I'm doing the operational logistics.
What's a day in the life for Hunter, or a week in the life for you look like?
Yeah. So right now it's mostly booking, a combination of booking, and then like on the back end making sure operationally we're sound for everything coming up. So it's a combination of like scouting new shows and trying to sign new shows, make sure we're keeping the calendar super full. I'd say that's like my primary emphasis right now. And then on the back end is like, okay, we got 2 MMA events at the end of the month, like May 29th, May 30th coming up. How are we looking for those? Like, is everything taken care of for those that needs to be? Like, just keep checking in, keep making sure everything's Gucci on whatever is on the calendar, because obviously you got to execute on fight night too.
Yeah. No, I mean, dude, and I think it's so cool also, like I commend you on the whole thing with Sunny Days Arena, because I think just from a business standpoint for you and the owner, like it's really opened up a lot of doors, because I think you're much more limited when you were trying to bounce around. There's just so many other revenue sources from a business standpoint that are possible now, which is really interesting.
That was the whole reason we did it, to be honest with you. Like, obviously your business mind showing through there. Like, you see exactly what we saw, which was, we could rent them in Rowville Convention Center or go to the Meadows Casino and just make ticket sales, but we're paying to rent the space. We're paying to bring everything in. We're not getting any food and bev.
You're already doing all the work.
Exactly. And we're doing all the work, and they're making more money than us. That's literally where our brains were. It's like, we are doing everything, and they made out better than us here.
Yeah. And also, I think there's a level of this that I've realized. And one of my older brother, he had a business, right? And it was actually funny. They went on Shark Tank with it, and it was dope. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was dope. But the problem was it was a product. It wasn't really like an evolved business. And like the cool thing is, obviously 247 down the road, like look at the UFC, it could be like everything and more. But what's cool about diversifying with the venue is that it's more than just the product of 247. Like now you have lots of things to just, make it better for the business overall. You know what I mean? That's dope, man. Bro.
Yeah.
It's a lot more work.
It is. Way more work.
Way more work, because you're like doubling up and learning all these new shit.
For sure. But also I love that, because I don't know if your brain works the same way. I feel like it probably does. I don't like doing the same thing over and over. I'm not that kind of guy. So like having a mix of events and a mix of roles, a mix of I mean, literally last night I was bartending the concert at the show.
Sick.
Like,
hell yeah.
Like we needed a bartender. I know how to run the system. Like, all right, I got you guys. Like,
but you know what? That's cool, because it means that you're also like a relatable guy.
Yeah.
Like, with the shop here, like these guys are my coworkers. Like I'm not their fucking boss.
Hell yeah, dude.
Like they just rent a space for me and we're like boys.
Yeah.
Because like you're never gonna do anything well if you're like super like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, 100%.
Like,
yeah, I don't manage that way either at all. Like there's such a weird ego trip about that just doesn't resonate with me at all. Yes. And when I have had bosses like that, I'm immediately like disconnected from
them. Bro. It's like you don't want to do your best.
Yeah. It's like we're not on the same planet. Like, what are we talking about, dude? We're tiny little particles of dust on a giant spinning rock in the middle of nothing.
Yeah,
like, what are you talking about? Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, what a couple things. what are some of the hardest things that you've had to do? Like maybe firing people, dealing with a major crazy like meltdown. I want to hear about like one of the most challenging experiences you've had with, your current role. And then I also want to hear about like a really wild story. Cause I was thinking when you told me like you did the West Virginia MMA scene, I'm like, bro, that had to be fucking nuts. Like there had to have been like some fucking crazy stories there. Yeah. So hit me with the best or the worst and then the funniest.
Right. Yeah, I mean the worst is definitely twofold. So like as Sunny Days Arena evolves, we've definitely gone through people. And now with me being in the position I am, I'm the one to fire them, you know what I mean? So actually super recently, and it sucks because I liked them as people.
Yeah, of course.
My mom raised me like on values of empathy above all else. Like that is my core default is like, I put myself in your shoes. How are you feeling about this? So like, as I'm firing them, all I can think about is like, I'm ruining their day for sure. Probably their week, probably their month. And who knows beyond that? Like this sucks for them. Yeah. It sucks for me, but it had to be done. So like that's so super hard for me because I'm also like a people pleaser by nature. Like I try to always smooth things out. Like last night at the bar, like if I overcharge someone, okay, your next beer is free on me. Like I could have just given them a discount, you know what I mean? But no, free beer, whatever. For sure. Make everyone happy is my default. And firing them is the exact opposite of that.
Yes, bro.
That's super tough, man. Like, I don't like doing it. I've only had to do it, 3 or 4 times at this point, but every time sucks.
Dude, I've only had to do that one time. And I literally was like, sometimes I'm like, I'm a tough guy. Bro, that shit ate me up, man. For like a whole week, I was sick to my stomach about it.
Oh, bro, I know. The nerve, it's like when you got to give a presentation in front of a class and that's all you can think about all week.
Bro. Yeah. Or like the feeling you get, like literally the problem for me too was I was too nice. So I was like, most of the time when people would like get fired, they're like, all right, like pack your stuff up today. I was like, you know what, guys, like I'll give you 2 weeks. Worst thing of my life, bro. No. That week, or it was 1 week, but that week I was literally coming in here and it was like we were all about to like it felt like the tension was the feeling
like
you get before a fight,
in
bro.
there. Yeah, for sure.
Yes, it was brutal.
Yeah, that's the hardest part. And like one thing that I had to center myself on was like, you just got to be firm about it. Like that's all there is to it. Like don't apologize for sure. Don't say sorry because like why are you making this decision then if you're sorry? Like that
exactly. It's hard, man, because that is like one of those things where you're like, I'm sorry for what this is doing to you. But I have to be
the right
firm
choice,
in this decision. And that's a good piece of advice though, because I think I need to hear that sometimes. And the hardest thing for me with my job is like I'll finish a tattoo and I just had like this incredible session with somebody and we just like shared our deep life stories and then I'm like, that'll be $1,500. And it's like, fuck, dude. Like I hate the money part. It really sucks. Dude, that's so funny. Yes, we all hate that shit, bro.
That's so funny.
But it's also like, look, we all gotta pay our fucking bills. You know what I mean?
I think you also know if you're getting a tattoo, you know what you signed up for.
Yes. Yeah. I think the best way for me to avoid any weird feelings with that is like when you book with me, like you didn't have to go through this process because but like usually when people book with me, it's like they go on, they see my shit, all my pricing. It's very, very clear. And then when you send in a request, you get another message that's like, hey, confirm, just so you know, this is my half day, this is my full day rate. Okay. So it's like super transparent. So at that point, if somebody wants to back out,
that's a good way to do it. You know what I'm saying? For sure, yeah. But I've had a weird ride with tattoos on that level because the other guy that I get most of my stuff from to this point, like we've just become such good friends that I don't even ask ahead of time. Like it really is. He just finishes and I'm like, what are we talking?
That's cool though. And that honestly, man, that's usually the relationship that you get with your clients, and it's such a cool thing. And then it's also a double-edged sword because it makes it really hard. Like recently, because of demand and stuff, and it's not even like a price increase. I just changed the way I charge, like a half day versus a full day. Mm-hmm. But then I have some clients that I've been tattooing for like 5 years, and I'm like, bro, like if I charge you what I charged you 4 years ago, I'm actually losing money that day. Right. So like, because I could get somebody in that would pay the full price. So I'm like, I just gotta. And 95% of the time, they're cool with that. Like 99% of the time, they're cool with that.
I think everyone understands, man. Plus, like that's the beauty of having good relationships with people is like that conversation becomes a lot easier with somebody you have rapport with. Like it's not as difficult. It's the opposite of the firing discussion we're having.
It's funny though. It's like I'll have people when I started, or even now, like people that I like grew up with or whatever, and they're never down, bro. It's like, you know how there's that like saying like it be your own family or whatever, and it's like it really is like that. Like you'll have some random stranger on the internet like being your biggest cheerleader.
Bro.
Like I have some people. I don't know if I've ever met them. And it's like these middle-aged ladies that comment and like everything I do. And I'm like, I love you. Nice, and then like my boys from high school are like, that's fucking lit. I'm like, dude, fuck you,
it's
bro.
So accurate.
Isn't that true, though?
It's so funny, dude. We were just,
bro.
We just had the trib at the venue. They're doing a story on us and like our growth and everything.
Amazing.
At Sunny Days Arena. And the reporter asked Ryan something to the effect of like, what's been most surprising to you? And that was literally Ryan's answer. He's like, you get these people who you think are like your best friend, and they are your best friends, but like they don't support you professionally. He's like, I have some of my best friends have never been to a 247 show, whereas we have 247 fans, dude, that are at every single show, commenting and sharing every single post, which I love. Like, I'm so thankful for that. But he's so right that like some of the people that you think you're the closest with, and it's weird because you are like,
you
like
are
off business hours. We are closer, but like that crossover is weird to navigate. Bro. Yeah, I never really given it much thought. I'm definitely blessed and spoiled with the fact that my family and friends are very supportive.
Yes.
So like, I do see them at shows, but I know what Ryan's saying, and it's like,
it's a weird thing, isn't it?
Weird, yeah.
Like, and I felt that heavily when I first started my last business. Like, it was people that were in my, like the Tribune also did. That's the one from Johnstown.
There's a branch.
The Tribune
Johnstown
Democrat.
Sure.
Yeah. So they did a story on whatever. Like I had this business that I started with a Kickstarter, and anyways.
That's sick.
So yeah, it was dope. But basically, it was these people in Johnstown that I had never met that were like supporting my business from Somerset, but then like. Nobody, you know what I mean? It's like so strange, bro. But
it is weird.
It's like that, but
especially in small towns, I feel like it's exaggerated a little bit because I don't know if you sense this or not, but there's a weird balance between if you're from a small town, they're either all in or all out on your success.
Yes.
They either want to see you crash and burn or like they're on your side.
Well, see, this is the funny thing about a small town too. I don't know if this was your experience, but this was totally mine. My dad had a successful career, and my dad's like the humblest guy ever. Like, he's the type of dude that he'll drive the 99 Suburban that's rusted out. You would never know that he's been successful. But the point is, when I was growing up, there were definitely some people that were like, oh, you're just because you're from this family that you do do well in school or whatever. And I'm like, I love my life now because there was a little bit of that jealousy element growing up. And I was like, bro, I got into tattooing. My parents fucking hate this shit, dude. Like, there was not a single handout. Yeah, dude, no shot. Like, this is like, no, so, yeah, I've noticed that big time. Like, it's just small town shit, man. I love small towns, but also, like, everybody's, I don't know, maybe at some point I could move back if I had kids. It's a good place to raise kids.
100%.
But it's also definitely pretty insulated in the sense that like everyone knows what the fuck's going on with everybody's life.
For sure.
And everybody's Eskimo brothers. It's this weird thing.
Good luck walking around town.
Yeah, dude. Oh, God. So, all right, what about, on that note, what about like any really funny stories that come to mind, like just absolutely off the wall? Like in my head, when you said I covered MMA in West Virginia, I was like, dude, somebody definitely like smoked some meth and like jumped in the ring and fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, I wish I had that story.
Oh
for
man, you don't?
Damn. I got something semi-close that happened.
Okay, let's
go. 247 actually.
Let's go.
So we had a show in Belle Vernon at CFS Bank Event Center. This was a dope place, by the way, like super random, but packed. Super packed crowd, super good crowd. We're buzzing through the fights, and it's one of our better cards, like really good pro fights. It's actually the card that Ethan Goss lost on, the one that we talked about earlier, where I felt like he was right on the brink of the UFC.
Oh wow! So this was like right before you guys got Sunny Days Arena.
Yeah. Literally the event before the grand opening.
Got it.
Real stack card, and there's this dude in the crowd who's like, on some shit, and you could just tell. And I just kind of was keeping tabs on, looking at him like.
You guys have security guys.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't hurting anyone, so it is what it is. He's just a little.
He was just fucked up.
rambunctious. Yeah,
he was just fucked up.
but not drunk. You know what I mean? Like I'm not a druggie, so I don't identify what it was. But
he was on
meth is my guess,
baby.
like, based on descriptions.
He was on that crystal, boy. That's crazy.
So he's just like pacing, freaking out all night. But then it gets to a fight where like this is the fight he cares about, and I identify. Okay, he knows one of these fighters, and of course you can figure out which one he's cheering for. And everything. So I'm just keeping my eye on him, and I get one of our security guys, and I'm like, hey, bro, I can't stay here the whole fight. Like I got to go back, but keep an eye on this guy. Like, he's just make sure
he's on one.
Cool.
Yeah.
And his fighter that he was rooting for loses, gets knocked out.
Oh.
And bro, this
like a Khabib moment where they fucking rush the ring?
Bro,
let's go.
He rushes the ring, which like I didn't even see it happen because I was backstage. So when I come back out, they're already like carrying this dude out, arresting him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what happened? We have it all on video, thankfully. So he literally jumps over the rail like Speed Demon.
Yes.
Like Spider-Man runs on top of the fucking folding chairs on the floor.
No way.
Doesn't even touch the floor the whole way to the cage.
Oh, yeah,
Gets to the catwalk, jumps into the cage. And nothing happens. That's like the funniest part is like he got in the cage and then froze.
Oh,
he's bro, he had that crank strength
exactly,
and he didn't even capitalize on it. What the fuck?
Here's what I'll say. This dude was like 120 pounds probably.
Oh, yeah.
Classic skinny meth looking dude.
Yeah.
And the security, we had 2 security guards. We had one of our boys, Ish Lopez, who does like post-fight interviews, and he's a cop.
Yeah.
He's a jack dude.
Yes.
It took all of them to get this dude out of the cage.
Oh my God.
One of the fighters on the card, actually, Bronco Busick, a pro who's a savage, like had him in a like nasty front headlock, carrying him out of the cage. And he's like, I'm gonna put you to sleep, bro. I'm gonna put you to sleep. Like, stop. And the dude would not stop.
Yes.
Would not stop.
That
and
is
the whole way
wild.
out, he was talking shit, getting carried out the whole way out, man.
That is.
We never pressed charges or anything, but we
That's
like
funny
that.
though, dude. I figured like shit like that had to have happened.
Yeah, yeah. You would think that would be the West Virginia card, but no.
Nope.
Just another day in 247.
247, baby.
Man.
Oh, dude, the best part, I can't believe I left this out. So he's in the back of the cop car getting hauled away, and he yells, "You'll never forget the name Squirrely J."
No.
So ever since that day, we're like Squirrely J.
Squirrely J.
J rushed our cage, man. We got Squirrely J. So
You'll never
shout-
forget Squirrely J.
And I won't. And I won't.
Oh
Shout out
my
Squirrely J, the
bro.
legend.
That is legendary.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Dude.
Honestly, he'd be.
You should have made some T-shirts with that.
We considered it.
You actually should.
We really did.
Literally,
consider it.
I worked at this tattoo shop one time, and I actually got to knock somebody out there, which was really sick.
Hell yeah, dude.
He was like being harassing women,
Yeah.
so he was a douchebag. But anyways,
Fair.
super dope. But that I got to do that.
Yeah.
But before I worked there was this dude that was like a total badass that was the manager of the shop. And he at one point got in a fight with somebody and just knocked the guy out cold, right?
Mhm.
And they took a picture of this guy slumped on the
Oh, God.
sidewalk.
And made sure.
And they
it
just
sounded-
made T-shirts that said like, whatever tattoo.
That's beautiful.
and I was like,
actually.
that's brilliant.
It's a great deterrent.
Brilliant.
Yeah. The Squirrely J shirts would have sold for sure. Like we had
Run it, dude. You gotta run it, bro. I'll promote it. That's hilarious.
some of
dude.
our fans made Squirrely J their profile pic on Facebook for a
Oh
little while
my
or stuff like
God.
that. It was definitely like it's an interesting thought and like thought process, I guess you could say, of like as a business, do we want to promote that?
Yes.
Because does that encourage more of that?
Violence. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's actually, what? I didn't think about it that way.
But
You're right.
But
you're
on the
right.
flip, I totally want that shirt.
and on the
it'll-
flip, it is entertainment
it's
business.
fun. Yeah, yeah.
Like you got to think about like the guys in the UFC, like fucking Sean Strickland selling a fight.
Exactly, dude.
It's the bullshit
Exactly.
drama that
Yeah.
sells a fight, bro.
Yep, yep.
It's the saying shit about who's the guy that he looks like he's a heavyweight. He's a huge douchebag. Josh Hawkins.
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah.
it's the shit like him
Yeah.
calling out Ilya's wife or whatever, like
Oh, that was
ex-wife.
crazy.
Like
That was so
kind of
crazy.
stuff sells fights. So I get it, but man,
Yeah, you're always walking that balance beam of like, is this gonna create problems for us or is this good for us? Or
Yeah.
even, like we've had very few moments of like dust ups outside the cage or like fights outside the cage and stuff.
Yes.
But like when they happen, like should we talk about it? Because if it's two fighters that have beef that we can build storylines around, like people are going to be
Probably should talk about it, brother.
It's tough, dude. It's tough. Yeah.
Dude, well, crazy, man. I think we covered a lot of good stuff, man. I'm about, I don't know, 40% through this tattoo.
That's a banger.
It's going to be a banger. We'll show you guys this. But in the meantime, my man, thank you for this conversation.
Of course, bro. Thank you. Dude.
And check out, when's the next 247 event coming up?
May 29th and May 30th, back-to-back Friday, Saturday doubleheaders. Some of our finest work, I must say.
Let's go. And my friend Ethan, shout out Indio Dojo. He's fighting on that card, right?
Sir.
Let's
and
go.
Hope Chase from Indio.
Hope Chase, incredible. Hope's amazing. She's the best.
Love it.
Heck yeah, dude. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you, Hunter. We'll check you next time.
Absolutely.